In that interview with a Russian state TV journalist, Putin described President Trump as businesslike, smart, and pragmatic, but added that negotiating with Ukraine would be complicated after President Zelensky signed a decree in 2022 that prevents him from conducting talks with Putin. Therefore, the Russian president said there could only be preliminary outlines of a negotiation and not serious talks. In the days since his inauguration, President Trump has repeatedly called for a swift resolution to the war, threatening on Wednesday to hit Russia with new sanctions and tariffs it did not negotiate an end. Let's bring in California Congressman Bera, a Democrat, who is a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, welcome.
Mike, thanks for having me on.
So Secretary of State Rubio's first foreign trip will be to Panama. We know President Trump feels very strongly about the Panama Canal. Let's play him.
The most expensive thing, the most expensive thing we've ever built is the Panama Canal.
And you're serious
and
about it?
And unfortunately, Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1. Oh, no, we're going to have to take it back. China is running the Panama Canal right now. That wasn't the deal.
What is your assessment of the importance of the Panama Canal, sir?
I mean, the importance of the Panama Canal can't be understated. You just said 40% of our cargo goes through the Panama Canal. And President Trump's correct. We did build it, and it's vital to not just the United States, but to everyone in this world. So it's got to stay open. I support the president in going down and expressing our concern about Chinese influence across the canal, and I think we'd support Secretary Rubio being down there.
The president's also very focused on energy prices. Let's play that. Okay, well, he's talking about basically if we brought down energy prices, that would help end Russia's war on Ukraine. Your thoughts on ending the war in Ukraine?
So I think a couple things. It is going to be complicated, but again, having met with Ukrainian parliamentarians, watching this war unfold now approaching close to 3 years, I think there is a way to get a deal done, something that guarantees Ukrainian security. It's probably not going to be NATO membership, and something that allows President Zelensky, to talk about, some of these occupied territories. I don't think Russia is going to cede all that territory. So are there contours of a deal? And then the question is, what do we do with Russia? It is a nation that showed its aggressiveness, but we can't have it sit out there as a rogue nation. And we certainly don't want Russia and China to go closer together. So, again, this is complicated, lots of moving parts, but it's a place that I think you would find Democrats working with Secretary Rubio, President Trump, try to get this done.
The president's also focused on NATO allies paying more for defense. Let's show the audience the top four in NATO in terms of expenditure on defense as share of GDP. Poland at 4.12%, Estonia 3.43%, USA at 3.38%, Latvia at 3.15%. What would be the impact if all NATO allies spent 5% on defense, Congressman?
So Europe is going to have to take primary responsibility for European security. Doesn't mean America is leaving, but this America First agenda that the public voted for and President Trump won suggests that Europe will have to take responsibility for their security. I can't explain to my constituents why someone in France can retire at age 60 with a full pension, with full health care benefits, but Americans have to work until they're 70, 75. So it is a real hard argument for us to make. And again, those are advanced economies. We're not leaving them. They're our friends, they're our allies, but they are going to have to step up their game.
Congressman Bera, the great state of California, thank you for your time today. Great to see you, sir.
Thanks, Mike. Be well.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.